Hey there, welcome to She Sells Radio. My friend, I have got to tell you today, this message may feel like kind of the core theme of what I talk about every day, but this resonated with me so much the other day when I heard this quote from Bob Proctor. And he said something to the extent of, you don't want to get, you want to grow. And what he meant by that is when we want more for our lives, it's not because it's just a money grab or because you want to just get so that somebody else can't, right? That's scarcity thinking. That's not actually true. The reason you want more is for your growth. That's how you're wired. And it's something that I get to remind myself of frequently because every time we reach another level in our lives, there can be, at least I'll just speak to my own experience, there can be an element of like, okay, like, is it good enough? Right? Is it good enough? And what I've found, because that's the conditioning, because so much of the conditioning of society is be satisfied with what you have. Other people don't have a lot. Other people envy your life. Other people would feel so lucky to have your life. And is that true? Well, could elements of that be true? Sure. For you, for me, for all of us, there's always someone who has it better and always someone who has it worse. And I also have been in a point in my life where if I thought I could have the life I have today, it would have felt like, how could I possibly ever want anything else? And in so many ways, I feel so blessed. And I feel so grateful for everything in my life, whether it's family, whether it's healing relationship with my body, whether it's healing my money story, relationships, our lifestyle, all of it. And there's always this urge in me and in you, it's in you as well, because it's how we're wired, to seek for what's next. And your expansion, it is part of who you are. It's literally how you were wired. And when we remember that it's not just for us to get, although having more, whatever it is that you want to get in your life, right? I got off a call with a client who is super inspired to create a location independent lifestyle and get an RV to support that. And I was like, yes, like that's amazing, right? That was one of my visions for so long. Or whether you want to get an up-leveled wardrobe, or whether you want to get, I don't know, a new team member to help you in your business. Those are all beautiful and wonderful things. And we get to be blessed by receiving along the way. And at its very core, beyond that, beyond the thing, beyond the car, the wardrobe, the lifestyle, it's really at its core about your growth. And that's really what's driving your soul and your desire for more. And when we realize that, and when we stop resisting how we're naturally wired, for me, I was stuck for so long at the same level. And it was like 10 years at the same level financially, struggling with eating disorder, struggling with body image, oh my gosh, my relationship stuff. I don't go into it a whole lot on the podcast because it feels like so long ago in my life. But that could be a whole novel that I just think we'll probably never publish. And I'm okay with that. But struggle in all those areas and stuck at the same level. And then it's like, no wonder looking back, I was anxious, depressed, scared, fearful, restless, because I didn't understand that it was okay, not just to step into more, but for me to step into more in my life. And I think we can do this. We can look at other people and say, well, that's okay for her. 7 figures is okay for her. Building an 8-figure international business is okay for him. Having the great family life is okay for her. Having the great health is okay for him. But I'm different and I'm quote unquote special. And anytime we tell ourselves those stories, it's a convenient way that the ego designs to keep us small and keep us stuck where we are. and I say this with so much love, there's a lot special about you. There's a whole lot special about you. And there's nothing special where you can't also create the same type of result in your life that you desire in somebody else's, that you see in somebody else's and you desire for you. So not only are we all wired for expansion and designed for that, you are wired for that and designed for that. And it's for your growth. You are meant to grow. The moment we stop growing is the moment we start dying. And it's not, I just got off a training call with the 10K Club. We were talking about aligning masculine and feminine energy. And what I shared on the call was, it's not a money grab. Like, there were periods in my life where I would binge shop, binge eat, I don't know. It was out of alignment. That's not what I'm talking about. That wasn't coming from an aligned place. That was coming from trying to fill a void that I didn't know how to fill. So it's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you go on the journey and you're willing to do the inner work, which is the hardest work and also the most rewarding work, because it's really what I think we're all here for. When you're willing to do that and you're willing to shed the layers of old conditioning of how you thought life was supposed to be, or you always thought you were going to be stuck in this situation, or I've always been this way, or it's always been this way. When we're willing to shed that, drop the stories, drop the defenses, be willing to really come into this energy of wholeness around who we are at our core. And this is something I do affirmations with our son Jack every morning. And one of them we do is I am whole. So every day he says, I am whole. And I really want to instill that in him early on, because most of my life I didn't feel whole. And it's really been a journey of coming back into wholeness. So I think we're all on that journey. But from that place of wholeness, or the journey back to wholeness, noticing, where do I feel called to expand now? Where do I feel called to grow? And not making yourself wrong for it. I've been having these really powerful conversations over the past week or so now with women who are enrolling in the 50K Club. And I think there's so much mindset for many of us, our families and how we grew up and what we hear in society around us, of like, number one, people saying, well, that would never be possible for you. 50K months wouldn't be possible. Number two, are you okay? Like, literally women have had family members saying, are you okay? And really, like, truly thinking that there's something wrong, that they would want more. And it's the whole crab in the bucket syndrome, right? If you've ever heard about that, if this is a loose approximation of what happens, but when fishermen go and they get they go fishing for crabs, and there's all the crabs get stuck in the bucket. If one of them tries to get out and escape and is actually about to make its way out, the rest of them will go and bite at its little claws. They'll bite at it to get it to come back down into the bucket with them. This is how it works. Most people will not understand your desire for more. Most people will not get it, because at some point, let me say it differently. In their soul, something will speak to them about it, but most people will quickly shut it down, because there's a part of them that truly believes it's not possible for them, or it's not safe, or something along these stories that we make up and that we're told over time. So we have to be so conscious of who we share our goals with, who we share our growth journey with, and remembering that it's not just going to benefit you. It's not just for your growth. You have no idea who you're going to inspire around you. And I've even seen this happening in this new mastermind and in this new community, is women are messaging me saying, oh my gosh, I see she's signing up. I'm so excited because she resonated with me and I want to get to know her and I want to learn to be more like her. So you never know who you're inspiring. You also in your own life and I say this, I'm thinking a lot right now about the mastermind because that's what I'm focused on. But whatever your growth journey is for you, whatever it is that you're feeling inspired to do, I be such a blessing to so many people you don't even know yet. And this is how it works. I think it'll be at the time this airs, probably tomorrow's podcast episode with Jason on talking about what happened when I said yes to my vision that felt really stretchy and scary and uncomfortable for us. Like what happened in his life? And then also reflecting on what happened in our son's life and what happened around us. And for you, when you say yes to your growth, when you say yes to your vision, remembering that you don't want more to get, you want more to grow. There are so many pieces that will move into play that you can't even imagine. And some people you'll never know are so inspired by you. Some people will tell you, some people it'll take a while, but they'll eventually tell you. But they will be so inspired to go for it in their own lives. And one of my clients said this to me maybe a month or so ago on a call, and he was talking about one of his friends. And the guy told, like, I think they hadn't been great friends up until recently, but he became friends with this guy and his wife. And anyway, what the guy told him was, you inspire me. Like, you have no idea how much I've changed my life since I saw you stepping up, saying more, leading with what you want. And my client had no idea that even just, this particular client, he's building a platform, but he hasn't built a big platform yet. And I don't know what his behind the scenes conversations have been with this guy, but I think it's more about his being, his way of being, his way of saying yes to himself, his way of stepping into more, his way of leading with the impression of increase and just carrying and embodying that energy. He had no idea the impact it was making on his friend and how his friend had upleveled his life as well. So do you get to be benefited and blessed when you say yes to more? Absolutely. And do you also empower so many other people around you to do the same in their lives? Absolutely. So if nothing else, get out of your own way. I say this with love. This is also sometimes a message for me. Get out of your own way and be of service by saying yes to your growth. There's nothing service-based. There's nothing glorious. There's nothing expansive about staying stuck where you are or playing out of fear, making decisions out of fear. That's not how we play when we're really playing the game to win. So remember that. Sometimes we have to remember that. It can be hard because we don't necessarily know or see all the people who are going to be blessed and benefited when we do step up. But I'm always so grateful when people share with me how they have up-leveled their lives by me sharing my journey. And not everyone has to share. Like, I'm super inspired by a ton of people that probably don't know they inspire me. And so that's on me. I need to reach out to them and tell them that. But either way, so this is not a message Elyse and tell her you're inspired unless you feel called to do, which always just is it's a good soul reminder for me. But you won't know it and you won't see all the people who are blessed by you. But when we can remember that and when we can lean into that and know that you're calling for more, you're calling for growth, you're calling for expansion, because we live in a universe where we're all connected. It's never just about you. It's never just about you. It's a ripple effect. It's a positive, beautiful ripple effect. One of my clients started investing in every month she gets a custom designer outfit made for her. And it's like, does she get to be blessed by that? Yes. And does the designer get to be blessed by that? By having the increased business? Yes. And do my clients' children get to be blessed by that, by seeing their mom thrive and seeing their mom say yes to herself? Yes. And have other people around her, excuse me, quick water break, have other people around her been inspired and said, you know what? Maybe if she could do it, I could do something like that too. Or where have I been playing small? Or where do I want to up level my life? Yes. So it's those little things that we doubt ourselves, like, oh, am I worthy of this? Should I do this? Can I do this? It's always, 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 always a double blessing. Excuse me. I've been talking all day. This is what happens with an end of the day podcast. So that's my message for you today, is to remember you're not wrong for wanting more. If any part of you doubts or questions or doesn't trust that desire for more, that is the part of yourself that you get to heal on your journey. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have those parts of ourselves, but we don't want to let them lead, right? We want to let the big version of us be in charge, the expansive version of us be in charge and take the reins. And it gets to really, really be a beautiful, exciting journey in your life. So I just wanted to come on and hopefully inspire you with that today, and rewire a few neural pathways that may be telling you that there's something wrong with wanting more. We got to shift the perspective on this stuff. When you have more, everyone wins. Everyone wins. I know by the very nature of you being a member of this community, a listener of this podcast, you have a beautiful heart. You have a beautiful soul. You want to do good in the world. And you need to have more in your life in order to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's okay. And that is good. It is good for you to have more. It is safe for you to have more. It is okay for you to have, it's not only okay, it is right for you to have more. So really remembering that, anchoring into that, and affirming that truth for yourself. So that's my message for you today, my friend. Please feel free to go check out 50K Club, ElyseArcher.com/50K Club if you want to check it out and apply to be part of the mastermind we kick off this month. I'm so grateful for you, and I hope this spoke to you today.